Hey guys, thanks for checking out episode number 2 of Pierce County Spotlight. Chatting with Officer Jeremy Hedrick today of Puyallup PD. Let's go check it out, I'm excited. I'm Mike Renard and I love where I live. I'm here to spotlight your neighbors in Pierce County from all walks of life doing great things in our community. We want you to hear their stories, feel their passion, and get a few laughs along the way. We believe in good stuff in, good stuff out. This is Pierce County Spotlight. Jeremy, tell the people your name and what you do here in the community.
My name is Jeremy Hedrick. I'm a detective sergeant with the Puyallup Police Department. So currently I run our investigative services unit.
Okay. And how many people do you oversee right now?
So I oversee 7 detectives. We also have a crime suppression unit that has 3 detectives and another sergeant within our unit.
Awesome. And how long were you in patrol before you stepped into a detective role?
So I started with the Normandy Park Police Department as a reserve officer in 2008. Okay. And actually you and I went through the Reserve Academy together back then. So I worked for the Normandy Park Police Department until about 2016. When I was there, I was a patrol officer, then I was a detective. Okay. I also became a detective and an incident commander on a major crimes task force within King County. Okay. Covered about 12 King County cities, so would handle any major crimes within those cities. Got it. So 2016, I came to Puyallup, started as a patrol officer again, worked graveyard patrol, which I loved. Yeah. And then I was a patrol training officer for a time. Then I got promoted to sergeant. Okay. Stayed on graveyard patrol at that point. Then I moved to running our school resource officer program for a while. Yeah. And now I'm back into investigations, which I love, and running that as a sergeant. Yeah.
What was the lure to a town like Puyallup?
Well, you know, I think Puyallup's kind of a destination department for police officers. Awesome. We're, even with everything going on right now in the law enforcement world, we're still able to keep our staffing up in Puyallup because people want to come here and work.
What's the number one reason you think that is?
Community support. So I mean, it's the people here. Yeah. So I mean, we have a great community that they love law enforcement. They want laws and safety within their city, and so they support us. So I mean, I feel like we just have, you look around the department, the people I work with, and it's a great group of people. It's fun to come to work. So I think that's a huge draw. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have some history to draw on that experience, and you have a couple different agencies and to kind of compare that to. So you know it to be fact.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy, what's your favorite thing about serving the people of the city of Puyallup?
My favorite thing about serving the people of Puyallup, you know, I think it's probably in my current role, it would be bringing justice to victims. That's truly what we do in investigations. So, you know, that people are victimized, and a lot of us are very passionate about holding somebody accountable for that. Yeah. And so for me, that's my entire focus right now.
Yeah, I almost think like baseball, right? Like the guys and gals on patrol, you know, are hitting singles, and you guys get to bring it home, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, the officers on the road, they're the first ones there. They're dealing with a lot of the fun stuff a lot of the time, and I love doing that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, so they're taking the initial report, and by the time it gets to us, a lot of times it hasn't been solved. Work needs to be done on it, and that's where we step in. And if it gets to our level, I mean, those are normally serious felony level crimes, and so, you know, those are cases that need to be solved, and we need to bring justice.
So it hits your desk because of the level of the offense?
A lot of times, yeah. So when patrol here in Puyallup does a great job. They handle the lion's share of cases on their own. That's awesome. Oh yeah, yeah. And we have a lot of guys who are patrol officers who are previous detectives. They have investigative experience, so a lot of them can handle a case on their own, and they do. Sure. If it gets to that point where it's higher level, or possibly it needs a lot more investigation and they don't have time, resources, yeah, that's when it comes up to our office, and then we start following up on it.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. So when you're not at work, what are you doing for fun at home?
Man, I wish I had a cooler answer for you. I'm not in my 20s anymore, so not as fun.
How about now?
Yeah,
Family?
Yeah, absolutely. So spending time with family, traveling. We spend a lot of time in Leavenworth. Yeah, my wife and I just got back from Hawaii not long ago. I've gotten into grilling a lot lately, barbecuing, Traeger type stuff. I dig that. Yeah. You know, actually, I'm very active in my church right now, which is kind of a cool story too. One of our former police sergeants here actually left law enforcement to start a church. Yeah, Renewed Life Church up on South Hill. So active in that. Yeah, and so, but I mean, really, yeah, a lot of family time when I'm not.
Life revolves around the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I love that. So, this is probably a little bit more of an in-depth question. Tell me about a time where you knew that you were made for this role as like a public servant.
So, it's hard for me to really kind of nail that down. I mean, first off, I loved chips as a kid, so that set me on the path.
How old are you?
Oh yeah, man, loved it. You know, I
Chips is California.
Highway. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, John and Ponch, if you look it up on Google.
Okay. So
it's hard.
Always drawn to
I was always drawn to it. I think though, with your comment about being a servant, being a public servant, that's what we do day in and day out here. So I feel like every time someone calls 911 and we are responding to that, you know, that's our opportunity to be a public servant, to be a servant leader. And, you know, we talk about how nobody calls 911 when they're having a good day. So every time we respond to one of those, it could be the worst day of a person's life and they're calling 911. We have the opportunity at that point as a servant, public servant, to step in and do everything we can to resolve that situation, or, you know, possibly bring some comfort to that person in that situation, to bring justice for that person in that situation.
How do you think comfort looks just to different people? Is it just being there? Is it?
Yeah, well, I think it's subjective. It depends on the type of call, and I think it depends on, you know, the situation and the person. And that's where, you know, police officers have to wear all these different hats, because you have to be able to understand, what can I do in this situation to get through to this person, to help this person? You know, a lot of us carry stuffed animals in our cars to give to a kid if a kid is around one of these horrible scenes, to maybe bring some comfort to that child. With someone else, it might be we have a chaplain, Mike Boyster here at our department, bringing a chaplain in to help. A lot of times it's truly just sitting down and listening to someone.
I was going to say empathy.
Absolutely. Empathy is a huge part of it. Yeah.
Okay, last question here.
Yeah.
For the people of Puyallup, rapid fire.
Rapid fire, okay.
What's your favorite season?
Spring.
Spring. Favorite color?
Thin blue line, man. Gotta go blue.
So cliche. Favorite ride at the fair?
Oh man, favorite ride. You know, back years ago I would have said the slingshot, but now that I'm old and kind of lame, I will say I like going on the Ferris wheel with my kids at the fair.
That's a great answer. Yeah. Favorite food at the fair?
Oh, scones.
Yeah, always? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite band or singer currently?
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam.
I've seen Pearl Jam probably 25, 30 times now.
Way.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Kind of a group. And going to Eddie Vedder here in a month.
Coming
to Seattle.
Seattle?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Biggest pet peeve?
Oof. Man, we could sit here for an hour.
Yeah, how about outside the job?
Outside the job? Well, how about I give you one of each? So, people not turning their high beams off for oncoming traffic, I would stop those all night long, man. Drive me insane. Off the job, I will not throw my wife or anybody else under the bus, but my wife unwraps things, leaves them on the counter, and then doesn't pick that wrapper up. So that would...
Picking up after people.
People.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go-to breakfast?
Bacon and eggs.
Bacon and eggs, awesome.
All American.
Do you have a morning routine?
I do, yeah. I normally get up around 4:30 and try and get a quick workout in, have a good breakfast, some coffee, and get going. Yeah, get it.
What superpower would you pick?
Superpower? Yeah. That'd be cool to probably fly. Yeah.
For all the South Hill traffic.
Yeah.
Name something you collect.
Challenge coins.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them up in my office up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those represent, obviously, franchise?
Yeah. So within law enforcement, and it's more of it started with the military with challenge coins. So if you take part in a certain, situation or make a contact with a certain agency and help out, sometimes you'll get a challenge coin to represent that.
Well, that's cool. And how many do you have?
Oh, I probably got 50, 75, yeah.
Awesome. If you could have any car, what would it be?
Oh, it's gotta be a Crown Vic, right?
No, I'll,
one of the old school Humvees, not like the new,
Wide ones?
like SUV ones, like a legit Humvee.
Humvee one.
Yeah, absolutely. Humvee one, yeah.
What dish do you cook best?
So I do the Velveeta mac and cheese with hot dogs cut up in it, and that's kind of my signature. Yeah.
What a dad move.
Yeah.
Favorite movie as a kid?
Oh, as a kid, Goonies.
Goonies.
Yeah, I'll go Goonies. Yeah, probably Big Lebowski in later years, yeah.
What never fails to make you laugh?
Monty Python.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that British humor.
If you wrote a book, what would it be about?
Oh, man. I guess you write what you know about, right? So,
Yeah.
probably be about
Would
small
it
town
be
policing.
fiction? Maybe.
probably nonfiction. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And I make a kind of a joke about that because a guy who used to work here wrote a book about small town policing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang. So a little inside joke there. Who would play you in a movie?
Ooh. I would say, what was the guy's name on The Shield? Vic Mackey?
Well, Michael Chiklis.
Yeah. Yeah. If you put a picture of him next to me, a similarity, yeah.
Who's your favorite coworker?
Oh, wow. Well, if you look at that wall up there, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't think I could pick just one.
Who's your favorite? Come on.
Man, well, it's got to be one of the dogs, right?
Yeah, probably.
Who's
your favorite canine?
Marshall or Maverick. We truly were like a family here, and I have some of my best friends I get to work with day in and day out. So I mean, it's, I know that's kind of a lame PC answer, but I'm telling you, it's legit, man.
Okay.
Yeah, love the
And
people I work
lastly,
with.
What's your favorite thing about the city?
I'll go back again to the people here in the community. And I'm not trying to give like a vanilla answer. It truly is. Like I go out to Starbucks or Dutch Brothers and people line up to buy us a coffee and say thank you. And that's not lost on me. There are a lot of communities nearby that don't have that kind of support. So to be able to work in that kind of environment as a police officer, I mean, we are very lucky. And
You're not getting that everywhere.
No. And so that is truly how I feel. And that's why I came here. So.
Love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Detective Sergeant Jeremy Hedrick.
Thank you, Mike. Pleasure.
And done.